What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got a bunch of Nintendo Switch 2 news and information, and heavy on the RPG front. Could we potentially be getting Metaphor ReFantazio finally on the Nintendo Switch 2? Well, we'll talk about that in just a bit. And of course, a big new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, plus a bit more. But let's go ahead and jump right into Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade first and what's happening there. We've got a brand new world and factions trailer, and I love this trailer because if you're someone new to the universe of Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, this one is going to get you caught up to speed on some of the terms that you've probably heard before, like, for example, the starting place, Midgar overall, and what's happening there. How about Mako reactors, some of the key structures, and Shinra, that old Shinra electric power company that's cosplaying as a power company. And then we've also got some other stuff here as well. The Turks, what's going on with them, Avalanche and your squad that you hang out with, what's going on there. So I love this. In addition to character profiles as well, like Cloud, Sephiroth, and more, plus some nice gameplay as well. And I love that they're dropping this because Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is dropping on January 22nd, 2026, and it's one of the more, I would say, anticipated titles to come over, because this is the start of Square Enix starting something beautiful on Nintendo platforms, as they've wanted to do, and we're going to talk about a little bit more when it comes to what Mr. Hamaguchi had to say about the Nintendo Switch 2. So it's something they've been dropping little bits of information, interviews, kind of leading up to the launch of this game. And once again, this is a pretty important game in my opinion, because this is major, mainline, new or somewhat newish Final Fantasy for the first time on a Nintendo platform since the Super Nintendo era. Yeah, it's been like 3 decades. That was the last time that we could expect mainline big Final Fantasy in any type of timely fashion on a Nintendo current platform. Even if you look at the older games, they didn't even get those done on a Nintendo platform till the Nintendo Switch 1. So yeah, keep that in mind overall. So this is absolutely spectacular for Nintendo fans to be able to get this type of game, and of course being able to play it anywhere that you want. Square Enix is very confident that this game is going to look and run beautiful on the Nintendo Switch 2, where they got a lot of optimization done, where they even talked about it a bit more, saying that it was somewhat of a struggle and it was the hardest to optimize, but their team locked in, which we will once again talk about in just a bit. But I'm loving what they're showing from this trailer. I think that it looks fantastic, and I cannot wait to dig into Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade on the Switch 2, just because being able to play this type of game anywhere that you want and having that Intergrade content, which I haven't fully done everything when it comes to that, haven't beaten every single aspect of the game. I did have the game on the PlayStation 4 and I played it on my PS4 Pro back in 2020, which was fantastic, but there's still more stuff to be done in this game. And once again, it is looking great from the trailers that they've shown off, from the hands-on gameplay from Tokyo Game Show and at other places as well that fans have been able to go hands-on. So this is definitely a good thing. So what do you guys think about Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and what's going on with this new trailer? But another thing that I wanted to get into when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is what Mr. Naoki Hamaguchi had to say about the Nintendo Switch 2 and how it was the hardest platform to develop Final Fantasy VII Remake on, but it was worth the effort overall. Here's what he had to say, quote, "So in terms of consoles that were the most challenging, I would say the Switch 2. We had to be quite mindful of sort of the power consumption of the console. And so, you know, especially in terms of handheld mode, as opposed to when you're in TV mode. I do think, you know, perhaps a common misconception of trying to play a game like Final Fantasy VII in handheld mode on Switch 2, for example, is that people may think that the quality of the graphics might be impacted or be low, but it is quite a rich and beautiful graphic experience. I myself, when I witnessed it and I held it in my hands and I saw FF7 operating on this Nintendo console very fluid and beautifully, I was quite moved. So I would like as many players as possible to also experience this. There might be other players who might be unsure on this, but there is a demo coming at the end of the year. So this is a great chance for players to kind of see for themselves about the world of FF7 and how this is played out on new platforms. And I hope that this will lead to greater interest in attaining the games." So this is also a very good idea in terms of the multiple interviews that Mr. Hamaguchi is doing. He is trying to hype this up, even though this game is 5 years old at this point, because he knows that there's going to be a new audience that didn't get a chance between Xbox, in addition to the Nintendo Switch 2, that never have played this, probably never gotten into Final Fantasy. One of the things about Final Fantasy is that while it's done well over the years, they haven't done the best job at courting a younger audience. We've seen some of the polls out there that show that Final Fantasy has an average age when it comes to people enjoying the franchise in terms of the most core fans of like nearly 40 years old or so. So it's one of those things to where I'm pretty sure it's lower in certain parts of the world and everything, but it's one of those things to where they do need to get new people onto the Final Fantasy franchise. That is their pretty much #1 goal from Square Enix, from what the CEO has said. And of course, Mr. Hamaguchi is trying his best to get his teams ready to get it on Xbox. And of course, for Square Enix in Japan, it is going to be huge on the Nintendo Switch 2 to drive more interest towards the game. So I think that's the reason why he's talking about the portable mode and what they've done and the amount of effort, because it does take a good amount of effort to get a game like this from the PlayStation 5 version of the game, with the lighting and how it looks kind of more similar to that, to get that running on a small tablet-like portable device in the handheld mode, like Mr. Hamaguchi is saying, is definitely a challenge compared to the unlimited power that you have of plugging it into an outlet overall, which is why the Nintendo Switch 2 obviously operates differently and can access a better resolution and graphics when it's docked up to the TV. So it's great that they're doing this, and it's something that I know I'm going to be supporting. Plus, it was also smart that they said that all of the games are coming over, so you don't have to worry about not getting part 2, which is Rebirth, or part 3. All of that is confirmed for the Nintendo Switch 2 as well, so good there. So what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know in the comment section below. But before we get to the next topic, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos as soon as they drop. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the next thing here. We're going to talk about Metaphor ReFantazio and what is happening with this game. A lot of people are suspecting that we could get a re-release of this game with new content, or maybe even a Switch 2 announcement, or maybe even both, because Atlus has announced a brand new Metaphor ReFantazio 1-year anniversary stream. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we got to talk about this overall. So publisher Atlus and developer Studio Zero will host a Metaphor ReFantazio 1-year anniversary livestream on October 10 at 9 p.m. PT / October 11 at 12 a.m. ET / 13 JST. The companies have announced. You'll be able to watch it on YouTube as well. The broadcast will also feature a special message. Now, additionally, a public celebration will be held at Round 1 Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. The sold-out fan event will feature special gifts, a voice actor meet and greet, photo opportunities, and more. Metaphor ReFantazio launched for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, and PC via Steam and Microsoft Store. They also shipped and digitally sold more than 1 million units on launch, making it Atlus's fastest selling game of all time, and has since surpassed 2 million units digital and shipped units as well, which once again could go up once they get that Nintendo Switch 2 version announced. Now, will they announce the Nintendo Switch 2 version at this live stream event? Probably not. It's probably going to be an announcement of an announcement, which Atlus is known for, having some type of event and saying, hey, at this event, look forward to something else that's going to happen. So an announcement of an announcement seems more likely to me because of Atlus's history, but you never know with this one. Could there be a Metaphor ReFantazio Royal Edition? I think that they're absolutely going to do that. If you look at the last number of big games that they've had, from Persona 5, in addition to Shin Megami Tensei 5, both of those got the royal treatment, with Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance and of course Persona 5 Royal. And Persona 5 Royal was re-released so many times with no upgrade paths at all when it comes to you getting that 60 FPS on your PlayStation 5. If you want it on PS5, too bad. Buy it again, because the PS4 version won't run on the PS5 at 60 FPS and the faster loading times and all of that. So I thought that was pretty hilarious overall, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's just something that Atlus has been doing. So I would expect there to be a Metaphor ReFantazio Royal Edition at some point, and then that's when we're going to see potentially the Nintendo Switch 2 version, which the Switch 2 version will launch with that extra content. Now, there is a possibility that that doesn't happen. If you look at Persona 3 Reload, for example, that did not come with the extra DLC content that was on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and Xbox versions and PC of Persona 3 Reload that came out in 2024. So it's not a foregone conclusion that they're going to add extra content for a Nintendo Switch 2 version. We just kind of have to wait and see what they're going to ultimately end up doing. But I know, considering this game sold over 2 million units at this point and counting, it's got a lot of deals even since then. I mean, it's like 15 bucks on Amazon right now for the Prime Big Deal Days, and I'm pretty sure that the game is going to be like 20 to 30 bucks across all platforms this Black Friday as well, and even Christmas. So I think they're going to get a lot more sales as people kind of say, okay, I'll go ahead and pull the trigger on this game, considering how it rated and how it was Game of the Year nominations, and actually won Game of the Year from many places, from many big outlets last year in 2024. So I would expect those sales to go up even more as more discounts continue to come in here from various different retailers overall. But yeah, don't expect a Nintendo Switch 2 version of this game. Don't expect there to be some type of announcement of an expanded version of this game just now at this point. But I would say that there could be some type of tease, or once again, an announcement of an announcement that could be happening maybe for some time next year. So we'll see about that. But what do you guys think about Metaphor ReFantazio? What do you think about the game? To me, it's the true game of the year last year. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's spectacular overall, and yeah, I highly recommend the game. I mean, if you have to wait for the Switch 2 version, you can, but if you want to pick it up on your PC, Xbox, or PlayStation on sale or discount, you can do so too. It is an incredible experience. It just takes a lot of time to get through. It's a 100+ hour RPG if you're doing all the content on the normal mode and all of that. But man, I really had a blast playing the game, and of course the music is incredible too. So what do you guys think overall? You can let me know in the comment section below. But let's go to move on to the next topic here, guys, and we're going to be discussing what is happening with this baby trailer that's going on here overall with Close to You from Nintendo. This seems to be some type of Pikmin teaser or something like that. Some people have speculated based off of the baby that maybe it's baby Rosalina as well. Now, Nintendo of America has actually closed the comments, so it doesn't seem like they want anybody speculating or anybody talking about it in some type of way, ruining potentially what it could be in the YouTube section overall. They just want people to speculate amongst themselves or speculate in other places or something like that. But if you look at the trailer, if you hear the trailer, you can clearly tell there's something related to Pikmin. So I got this lore drop on me when it comes to Pikmin. Pikmin apparently can't be seen with the naked eye from humans, so that's why it looks like it's invisible. There seems to be some other stuff happening in the background to where it does seem like it could be Pikmin as well, but it's a bit blurry. And on top of that, there is the Pikmin 4 rendition that is clearly listed, that's clearly heard at the beginning. So pretty much everybody trying to say that it's not something to do with Pikmin or not some type of Pikmin thing, I don't think it's quite accurate. Now, could there be some type of crossover universe stuff? Sure, but it has to do something with Pikmin, unless this short decided to just hawk the Pikmin 4 title theme overall and say, oh well, here you go, like it's gonna be in this thing. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's a game either. It could just be like a Nintendo Pictures type of thing. Nintendo does have a whole animation studio and movie stuff that they're doing, so it could just be a short movie. It could just be some type of YouTube shorts that they're going to be doing, or some type of multi-series on YouTube, or some type of multi-social media series. But they did something similar to this with the Emio game that was last year, so I expect it to be maybe something like that, but you just never know with this, right? It could be a variety of different things. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly what it ultimately ends up being, but honestly, it's probably going to be Pikmin related in some type of way, shape, or form, and that's completely fine. I'm pretty sure Nintendo will have some type of new Pikmin game this generation. I just don't know if this is connected to that, but Pikmin 4 did really good. Best-selling Pikmin game of all time, sold multiple millions. So I'm guessing that Nintendo is definitely going to make some type of Pikmin 4 Nintendo Switch 2 edition, or new expansion to that, or potentially a even new Pikmin 5 game for the Nintendo Switch 2 at some point. So what do you guys think overall when it comes to everything that we talked about here? A lot of different topics, from Final Fantasy to Metaphor ReFantazio, and of course this potential Pikmin / Nintendo Pictures thing. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.